the civilities that you should right off of the bat as a gentleman. Shaking a man's hand, sitting down, that's some bitch ass shit.
Man, I absolutely agree. I think that's one of the things you need to teach young men from the at a very young age. Like, I got a young son, and I teach him how to introduce himself. Hello, my name is William, and I teach him how to look somebody in their eye when he shakes their hand. And
yes,
doing
that's
it
also
down, that's just unacceptable, man. That's being lazy. That's almost being rude.
It's downright disrespectful in my book. That's what my father taught me. If a man can't trouble himself to stand up to shake your hand, he might as well slap you in the face. In my book.
Well, it's like you were talking about respect, man. Hey, JC, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, building on that, I think it's more also it's a presentation of yourself to someone you haven't met before. And as men, we're supposed to be that dominant. We're supposed to be able to have a commanding presence. If you can't do anything as so commanding as stand up while you shake someone's hand, you're not presenting yourself. I'm not even thinking about the respect you have for another person, which is basic human respect at the very minimum. Yeah. No, what I'm talking about is you have to kind of have some self-respect and, show yourself to be whatever you're trying to be when you're putting that good first step forward. You want to be able to show that, this is me, this is how I present myself, and this is how I'm going to do this with you.
Absolutely.
And I think that's lost on a lot of people. I think that's lost on a lot of people, that they're not taking pride in how they present themselves, especially for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Well, as a man, that's exactly how you should be doing. You should be presenting yourself. And
now, it's not about respecting the other guy. You're showing who you are.
To women too, you present yourself.
So but what are we forgetting to tell them about when you shake a man's hand? What should it be? That motherfucker should be firm. You shouldn't shake a man's hand like a loose little pussy, you know what I mean, with noodle fingers. You shake another man's hand firm. That shows him that you got some fucking sack to you,
Right. And it's like you said, it's about respect. So again, if you're just joining in, man, we're talking about traits that it's important to teach young men, because we're trying to address some of the bitch assness going on today. And we take masculinity serious. All of us do. So let's keep going. TK brought us a little list together about things to teach your son. So we're going to keep rocking with it. All right, next up on your list, TK. Don't enter a pool by the stairs.
Yeah. I think that's a good one, man.
Speak on that, man.
Hey, females enter the pool by the stairs. Men, we cannonball into the pool. We jump into the pool. We generally make a splash, so it's kind of a metaphor, it's more about, it's not only about, going into the pool by the stairs. It's a metaphor for life. You know what I mean? You cannonball into the pool, you fucking cannonball life, man. You know what I mean? You walk into the pool like a little girl down the steps with the little kids and the other females, then, that's the way you should be treated.
Well said, TK. Hey, John, you don't take the steps, do you?
You know what? Honestly, I never really thought about it, but no, I jump in, but I have my own reasons for that. I jump in because usually that water's going to be fucking cold, and I figure your ass better just get it the hell over with. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not just about it's not just about being, you're coming in through the steps being that guy. I think the worst part is coming in through the steps, because now you're taking that cold water, you're taking it 1 inch at a time. Why do that to yourself, man? Dive in, jump in.
Yeah, well said.
Cold be the same temperature whether you go in fast or slow.
All right, next up on our list here, gentlemen, the man at the barbecue grill is the closest thing to a king. I don't disagree with that. That man at the barbecue grill has a job to do. He's cooking for a whole party. Anything he needs, man, it's whatever. I ain't bothering him. You just let me know when that food's done and when I can come get my plate, sir. We good.
Yep. Right, but not only that, it's that dude's casa. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So he is king of that fucking castle. You know what I mean? So that also, you know, each one of these, it's, you know, a rule of life of being instilled in young men as traits, but it's also, you know, each of them has a metaphor to them, you know, that kind of goes a little bit deeper in my eyes, you know what I mean? And you know, you show that man respect at his house like he's a king, you know what I mean? Just the same as you would expect from him.
Well said, TK. All right, let's keep going here. Next up, we got, in a negotiation, never make the first offer. What you think about that, JC?
I don't know. Working in sales for half of my adult life, you know, I think that's I don't know. I got by in sales a little bit differently. I had to kind of present the product, but I never actually, I would never present a price without building value. And I kind of feel like that's where that statement goes. You know, you're building value. You don't have to make first offer. If you're valuable enough, that person's going to come to you. You know, that's why I'm not knocking on your door when I was, you know, that's why 15 years ago I wasn't knocking on your door to sell you a cell phone. No, you were coming to me. You were coming to my store.
JC, I just love the things you say. You make so much sense sometimes. Look, this is to your exact point, dog. I don't get women. Women get me. Do you know what I do to a woman? Hey, but you know what? We're not really supposed to be talking about women tonight, gentlemen. We're supposed to be talking about young men. So I'm sorry for sidetracking the conversation. I just do. JC just hits the target sometimes, man.
Hold up though. So okay, so there. I want to put a little spin on that though. I kind of think where that they're talking about that trait going is what JC's saying is, you know, he was working in sales. So when you work in sales, you already have a set price that you have to reach for something. So you know what you have to negotiate and how low you can go or whatever. I think what they're trying to get at there is that you never make the first offer when you're in a personal negotiation with another man. You know, that doesn't have any kind of set price or any kind of limits or anything like that, because then you let them take the first leap. Then you know where they stand. It's almost just like we were talking about how you don't let a woman perceive you in a certain way on the first date. You know what I mean? You don't want to give him that advantage by making the first offer and lowballing yourself. You know what I mean? Now, I think JC's 100% right, but, you know, there's different angles to that situation.
Now, what I would tell young
men, I think that's from a commercial perspective. Yeah.
My advice to young men would be that when it comes to negotiating anything, whoever wants it the least wins.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, really, but you made a really good point, TK, about not lowballing yourself and not painting yourself into a corner or even giving them, you know, more than what they want, or it just let them make the first offer. That's great advice. Let's keep rocking here. Number 5, request the late checkout. You know, you would think that a lot more people would know that, but I think that really comes from our time from working on the road and spending time in hotels, and just they will give you more time. You don't.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, TK, about the late checkout?
Oh man, I think that you should squeeze as much time out of that motel room as you can, man, because if you're, you know, slapping skins in there, dude, and you got you a piece of ass in there, man, you know, you want to take advantage, man, and be able to hit that shit every time you can. You know what I mean? So every minute in that room counts, man. You don't want to leave it early. You want to get your money's worth both ways.
You're saying request the late checkout and knock the bottom out of it for another hour or two.
Absolutely. Either that or sleep in if you like to, one or the other.
Yeah, man.
All right, next up on the list here, number 6, when entrusted with a secret, keep it. Now, that's a very important one as a man. As a man, you need to have principles. You need to have standards. You need to have things like integrity, personal integrity. You got to be able to be trustworthy. And if you're putting business out on the street, and this comes with women too, man, because women want to feel comfortable around you. They want to be able to tell you things, and they got to know that you're not going to tell that to other people. You're not going to repeat that. You're not going to show that photo. You're not going to, like I said, dog, keep your secrets. So I think that's, and if you can't keep a secret between another man, then are you even a man? Like, for real, because you know who can't keep secrets? Women. Dog,
Women.
can't
That's right.
Men.
Well, hey, look, man, and I think that I've always told people, the best secret kept is a secret that never even leaves your fucking lips. You know what I mean? A lot of people just do not know how to live by that code. Another code that I live by too is, the best crime committed is the one you commit by your fucking self. You know what I mean? You don't let other people in on your personal business or secrets that could hurt you in the first place. But if you do, you better make damn sure that it's someone that you trust, and it's not someone who's going to go around and gossip and turn your life into a soap opera.
Man,
like half these little bitch asses will do today.
Well said. Well said. Go ahead, JC. What do you want to say?
Yeah, need to know basis. I mean, keep your circle small when it comes to sharing a secret of yours with somebody. But, like Jake said, make sure that that's somebody that you can trust. But the biggest thing is this. Now, I have had vindictive ex-girlfriends who are more than happy to put my business out there as a punishment to me for breaking up with them or whatever. Now, does that mean I should do that kind of thing to them? No. I know what they do. You know what they do. That's not what you do, young men. You keep the secrets that you were entrusted with. You hold yourself to that higher standard. Believe me, what goes around comes around. And I don't like to throw the word karma around or anything like that. But I'm saying that if you lead your life, lead your life with integrity, and you're as consistent as you can possibly be with it, those results are going to end up happening on their own. They'll speak for themselves, and people will be able to see that when they look at you. That's why to me, this list is not. It's kind of like things we should be teaching our sons, but to me, it's kind of like how to work on yourself. Even if we were taught these things, this is a good reminder.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're here talking about this tonight, and we got the phone lines open. If y'all want to call in with any questions that you have about this list, with any comments, feel free, man. We'll keep running the number up through the show. All right.
Yeah, guys, like the dads and uncles you don't want them.
Next up on TK's list here, number 7, hold your heroes to a higher standard. Go ahead and speak on that, TK.
I agree with that too, wholeheartedly. Someone, if you look up to someone, you should hold them to a higher standard. They should be a goal for you as a mentor to better yourself. You know what I mean? So in order to better yourself and to look up to someone who you look into as a mentor, obviously they have to be, I don't really know how to put it, but it's an important thing, man, to hold people that you look up to a higher standard, because it just is the way that, it's the way that you're going to mold yourself into a better person, by living from that direction.
TK, man, I'm really glad you said the word mentor, because I think mentorship is essential for young men. And here's something nobody teaches young men. You better watch out who your mentor is, because you get the wrong mentor and you'll be doing bitch ass shit just like that motherfucker. So you should be holding your heroes to a higher standard. And I think that's a really good point, TK. Hey, I'm glad you came out with this list tonight. All right, let's keep going here. Number 8, return a borrowed car with a full tank of gas. I do not disagree with that, man. If I got to borrow somebody's car, my dad's truck to move, something like that, I should put some gas in it for him. That's common courtesy. That's common sense, but that shit ain't too common, man. I don't get it. So what about you, JC? You filling up the tank?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the least you could do. I mean, if it's a resource that, let's face it, if you're renting a car, you're looking at however much a day, depending on what you get your hands on. And honestly, I believed in this whole principle when gas wasn't, being financed by the tank. When we weren't doing 6 months same as cash on a full tank of fucking gas. I believe that when it was actually reasonable. And now that it's not, I absolutely think, look, man, this is a fraction of what you would have paid to rent a car. And by the way, you got to fill that one up too.
Right.
JC, I'm glad you mentioned resource. Now, let me just put a hypothetical situation out for both of you gentlemen. If you borrow a car, fill it up. But what if it's a woman's car and she told you, don't worry about it? I got you, boo. Are you still putting gas in it then?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'll put gas in it, man. Check her oil and all of her fluids and everything for and balance her tires before I give it back to her. Just because, it's the gentlemanly thing to do. No matter what you think, think of that girl. It's an honorable thing to do for yourself. Just like JC was saying earlier,
So that's a good point, man. Let's keep going. We got a lot to get through on this list. All right, number 9. Play with passion or don't play at all. Okay, and again, you got to remember the context that we're talking about. Teaching stuff to young men is you got to teach them, go hard or go home. So,
right.
Give it your all, give it your best. When they're young, they don't really know how invincible they are. They haven't been through manhood yet. They don't know their full power. They don't know what it means to be a man. So you have to give them certain ways to build confidence and having them go hard on something and give something their all kind of reflects that a little bit.
Well, okay, let me add to that a little bit too. That applies to more than just playing sports for men. There's nothing worse than a guy who half-asses shit, man. Nothing worse than a guy who half-asses shit. In a sports game, at work, it doesn't matter what it is. If you don't do stuff to your fullest potential, you know what I mean? You're playing yourself, man,
So you're talking about work ethic.
I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about playing sports. I'm talking about work ethic. I'm talking about in general, play hard or don't fucking play at all. You know what I mean? Do shit to your full potential. Always.
Nice. You want to add something to that, JC?
Yeah, I think one of the things that stuck out to me is, a man having passion, a man having something that he's passionate about. The guys that complain that the good girls don't like the nice guys, or the guys with money, or the guys with looks are the ones that have all the luck, they're forgetting one thing. I know some really good-looking guys that couldn't get laid if they were up a chicken's ass. All right? I know these guys that, they look great, they work hard in the gym, they do all these things, but they just aren't passionate about anything. So they end up going through the motions. And because they go through the motions every day and they're on time to go through the motions and they do it like they're supposed to, that entitles them to some sort of consideration amongst somebody that they're more attracted to. But the thing about it is that if you don't have a passion, if you don't have something that is yours, that you're working on, that you're building towards, that is independent of whether or not you're with somebody in a relationship, for example, or is independent of whether or not, any of that stuff. When other people, not just the ladies, but the kids who look up to you, people who admire you in some way, shape, or form, my God, your family, people want to see that there's a vision, there's a focus on something in your life, and that's something that you love, or that's something that you really want to get after. That's something that you're chasing. And there's nothing wrong with chasing well into your 40s and 50s. I mean, I was in my mid-30s before I even had an inkling what I wanted to do with my life. Sometimes I still second guess it. But the fact is I'm passionate about what I'm doing. And my DMs get loaded.
Hey, dog, we don't even want to speak about my DMs. I can't even get to all of them. Hey, now, number 10, we kind of spoke on with number 1. Number 10 is when shaking hands, grip firmly and look them in the eye. So we're going to go ahead and jump to number 11. Don't let a wishbone grow where a backbone should be. Speak on that, TK, about having a fucking backbone.
Bro, hey, that's true, man. You know, that basically boils down to don't fucking wish and pray for things to get better and for things to go your way, or for you know, you to get that good job or make first string on the team or whatever the case may be. Put in the fucking work, and then you know you have it locked down. Put in the work with that chick, and you know you're tapping that ass at the end of the night. You know what I mean? And, you know, don't fucking wish, oh, I hope that this girl gives me some pussy when this date's over. No. Put in the fucking work, man. Grow a fucking sack, and you'll get that ass.
Nicely said. JC, you want to tap in on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing as when I was about 12 years old. I remember there's this really bad storm outside, and I'm watching it rain, and I'm worried that there's going to be a tornado. And my dad keeps going to me, whether you stare out that window and worry about it, if a tornado's coming, a tornado's coming. If it's not, it's not. And I think that's kind of what we're thinking about here. I mean, you know, if you're looking to have things happen, if you're waiting for things to happen and not preparing for them, you're going to have a bad time, as they say. I mean, you're going to be dealing with. You're going to be dealing with, you know, and that's just when it comes to worry. But now you're talking about self-improvement. Self-improvement's not going to happen if you're sitting there thinking to yourself, well, I hope I get that phone call from that guy I dropped off a resume to.
That's right.
Follow up, man. You know, that's the whole thing. I mean, you can't just wish to lose weight if you don't do anything about it in the kitchen, or you don't do anything about it in the gym. You got to have a goal and a plan. Otherwise, it's just a wish.
Fucking well said, man.
Yeah, very well said about a goal and a plan. Wish, I don't know what a wish is. Okay, I don't wish for stuff. But here's the thing that a lot of young men don't understand. Nobody's coming to help you, bro. You need to figure this shit out on your own. Okay? It's called being a fucking man. So wishing for something and not going out and fucking getting it is some bitch ass shit. So grow a fucking pair, let your fucking nuts drop, and go talk to that woman instead of wishing she'd give you some fucking choosing signals. Right,
and not even just women, but you want that raise, go get that raise too. Get that money.
Yep.
Well said. Well said. All right, next up, number 12. If you need music on a beach, you're missing the point. Well, I think
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I enjoy myself everywhere I go. I always have a great time with me. I really don't need music. When I'm driving around in my car, sometimes I listen to music, sometimes I don't, but I always enjoy me. So I think that's kind of, it speaks to, you should enjoy yourself more, man.
Yeah, I think that's what that's referring to is that each guy needs to learn how to enjoy his own company and some peace and quiet. You know, you don't always have to have noise around you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm with you 100% on that.
Well, one of the things there's something else further down on the list that connects with this, and we'll just kind of circle back to this a little bit later. Okay. Number 13 says carry 2 handkerchiefs. One in your back pocket is for you. The one in your breast pocket is for her. Now, let me tell you something, dog. I have a number of suits. I have a number of ties. I know I'm rocking the dope-ass Boss Mac drip, but your boy here has quite a few shirts and ties. Maybe, just maybe, I've been to court a few times, but you got to have handkerchiefs. That kind of goes with having swag. And you always want to give a lady a clean handkerchief. Hey, fellas, listen up. Sometimes you make women cry. It just it comes with the territory. So have a handkerchief. Have some swag. Have some fucking style. All right, let's keep going here, man. We got a long list here tonight. 14, you married a girl, you marry her family. Look, not only in marriage, but I think young men are not told this. If you get a bitch pregnant, you are also going to be involved with her fucking family.
That's right. So, forever, dude. Forever.
It's not just marriage, dog. It's about being fucking responsible, which is why I don't advocate for vasectomies, because no fucking vasectomy in the world can protect you from making piss poor decisions as a man. So only having fucking standards for how you live your life, only having principles for how you live your life will protect you from shit like that. Now,
absolutely. The next time you're hitting it on the sofa bed, remember, take a lesson from the sofa bed and pull out.
Hey, fuck that. Wrap that up.
I've been waiting to use that joke for a long time.
JC, are you dicking them down wrong? Wrap it up, fellas. Always wrap it up. No excuses. Protect your fucking sperm. Protect your fucking name. Don't give a kid to some bitch who doesn't fucking deserve one. Because let me tell you something, guys. When you're that guy, when you're fucking him, women want to have your baby. They're like, how can I get a fucking piece of this man? And if you're dumb enough to be nutting up in her, then guess what? She's fucking got your ass. And that's going to lead to a whole bunch of trouble down the road. Because if you're not on fucking child support, you're going to be spending thousands in family court. So I say protection all the time. Don't nut in women under any circumstances.
And now, take that fucking sheepskin with you.
Having kids, that's different. But if you're not married to that woman, if you don't give her your last name, then she doesn't deserve your fucking sperm.
And take that Jimmy with you, man. Don't leave that fucking thing in her trash can. You know what I mean? Bag that shit up and take it. You know what I mean? Don't leave it, man. You know?
All right, let's keep rocking, fellas. 15, be like a duck. Remain calm on the surface and paddle like crazy underneath.
Hell yeah.
Now, it's hard for me to relate to being a duck because I'm a motherfucking lion. But I can definitely relate to being fucking cool, calm, and collected on the surface. That's called being a fucking man. Because as a man, you should always have a fucking plan. It doesn't matter what the fuck goes left. You're prepared for it. You're fucking prepared for anything. And shout out to Boss Mac Topsoil, man. Boss Mac says Satan himself can appear, and you better bum rush him like you fucking planned on it happening, dog.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You better have a fucking plan.
Yep.
And likewise, when you score, act like you scored before.
Hey, great. Hey, for real, because
and like you'll score again.
Yourself, man. You get all happy about knocking her off, and you're going to expose yourself that you're not used to doing shit like that. All right, next up, number 16, experience the serenity of traveling alone. So this goes back to the beach thing, TK, man. Look, I'm a big advocate for going places yourself. I can't understand how some of these young men will take a woman out to a steak dinner, but they've never been to Texas Roadhouse or Red Lobster by themselves. They won't buy themselves some steak and shrimp. They won't spend some time alone. They won't give themselves some self-care. I don't get it. So I like this one. I think it's a good one.
And it goes a little bit further. It goes a little bit further than self-care, man. It also gives you a chance to get to know yourself, to get to know who you are as a person. You know what I mean? You can't do that with other people around all the time. You have to spend some time alone, sometimes in the fucking trenches, to find out who you are as a person, find out what you're capable of. You know what I mean? And you sometimes you have to be alone to be able to figure that shit out, man. You know?
Well said. All right, let's keep rocking here. Number 17, never be afraid to ask out the best looking girl in the room?
How long have we been saying this to these fucking guys, man? I mean, we've been telling you guys this since the very beginning, since we started this podcast. 9 times out of 10, the hottest female in the room usually is the easiest one to get to take out on a date, man, because she's more insecure than you ever know, because she's not used to getting asked out, because most guys are intimidated by her. But it also shows a lot about you and your self-confidence and what you think about your self-worth.
JC?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at, if you reverse the gender roles, I mean, I've been in many situations where I've seen girls who are, not that great looking, but talk to the best looking guy in the room. They're not afraid to do that. We are for some reason. Now, we've seen so many times guys getting embarrassingly rejected. Sometimes girls with shits about it. Look, you're going to deal with that. But I'm telling you that going to the most beautiful woman in the room, to talk to her, to ask her out, remember that, like Jake was saying, the other guys were either intimidated by her or they were trying to sneak into that friend radar because they still believe that they can be friends and then move on to something better. And those are the same nice guys. Those are the same nice guys that are going to call her an ugly ass bitch when she turns them down. And then they're going to go home and drown their sorrows in their White Claw while they listen to Drake and cry.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, JC, is that I think a lot of the reasons why guys, men have a problem asking out the hottest girl in the room is because they are so deathly terrified of that rejection and it hurting their self-esteem and getting embarrassed. You know what I mean? Because they just don't have enough pride in themselves or self-confidence to be like, fuck that bitch. I don't care what she thinks. I don't care what this whole fucking room full of people thinks about me. They ain't shit. You know what I mean?
And it's not as if her being better looking is going to somehow make her wiser or more embarrassing to get shot down by.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's my thing, gentlemen. Who says I even want to go out with the best looking woman in the room? What if the best looking woman in the room is an evil bitch? What if she's fucking disrespectful? What if she doesn't even deserve dick? I'm telling you, I'll go talk to the best looking woman in the room, but I'm presenting myself to her. She's gonna be high today. She could call all her friends, text her friends, call her mom. I meant that fucking guy today. But
well, look here, man.
Asking her out, man. It kind of depends.
You're gonna be a guy is gonna be much more embarrassed if he asks out an ugly chick and gets turned down by her than he is if he asks a hot chick and gets turned down by her. So think about that, guys.
All right, let's keep going here. We got a long list to get through. Number 18, never turn down a breath mint. Now, this goes into swag and style, and you should always be on point. Gentlemen, there is no reason that you're not a solid, on-point dude. And having some swag and grooming yourself properly, like, let me tell you something, man. I get G'd up anytime I go further than the mailbox. Man, I got something nice on. I got newer kicks on. I got my beard oiled up. My hair, I mean, sometimes it's down, sometimes it's not. But my point is, I'm presentable everywhere I go.
And I've always been a firm advocate of you dress for success. You know what I mean? You dress how you want to be perceived, and you dress for you can never anticipate on how your day is going to go or who you're going to meet throughout that day. So you never want to take a chance on looking fucking haggard, man. You always want to be looking good, looking slick, be faded up, lined up, nice and tight, man. Clean, crisp clothes, clean socks. Man, these fucking guys walking around holes in their socks and shit. Right now, man, I got an old a work hat and a work shirt and work glasses and stuff, but I'm at my pad chilling. You know what I mean? If I go out, man, I'm looking fucking fresh, bro. Fresh boots, fresh jeans, fresh shirt, a little bit of bling on, some tattoo oil, You know, you dress, man, how you want people to perceive you and how you want people to treat you. You dress like a fucking bum, you're gonna get treated like a bum.
JC?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not telling you to go out and fully accessorize because I'm not a guy who wears a lot. I mean, I got a leather bracelet on, you know, no big deal. Nothing too flashy. I'm sitting here talking to you and a wife being a Superman necklace right now. I'm at home. But you know, the thing of it is, this was the summer that I really kind of wanted to show what I could do in the gym and, you know, get into great shape. And so along with that, it's not just what I've gotten underneath the clothes. I want to make sure that I've got something wrapping around it that looks presentable. Something that looks good on me, something that hangs off of me in a way that I wouldn't have dared wear when I was 24. So, you know, remember, it's great to go ahead and you got to make sure that you're grooming. You got to make sure that you're working on yourself, but do the simple things too, man. You know, deodorant, breath mint, you know, we all run into situations like that in life where we would have liked to have had that, you know, handy, but man, keep it in your glove box, your bag, whatever you're taking to work with you. It's worth it.
Yeah, keep those fingernails trimmed, those toenails trimmed. You know, don't be going out, man, with fucking shit caked under your fucking nails and stuck in your teeth, whatever the case may be. JC, you're not going out on a date with a chick with some wrinkly ass t-shirt on, you know, that's all wrinkled, look like it just done been in a dryer for 10 days, and some jeans with stains on them and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it just, us three don't do that. You know,
no, we advocate swag check if you're going further than the motherfucking mailbox, dog. That's simple. All right, let's keep going. Number 19, a sport coat is worth 1,000 words. Speaking on swag check again. Speaking on suits again. Speaking on ties again. Hey, the right jacket, you can, okay. Yeah, I think a lot of young men don't understand how important first impressions are. And like when you're going to a job interview or something, learning how to just like shake hands properly and present yourself properly. Look, we understand that not everybody has been given the toolkit on how to be a man like we were. So we're here to try to help y'all out because we see so much bitch ass shit. I've seen people show up to job interviews in fucking sweatpants, dog. Like, you got to be kidding me. I don't care where you're working at. There is no excuse for that.
You know, all of these things, all these traits were instilled in all three of us as young men. That's why we are the way we are today.
JC?
Well, you know, I'm gonna kind of go by nostalgia on you here, Bill. You remember when I used to do the second interviews at West? Man, let me tell you. I mean, some of the folks that came in there, I don't know where they came from. I don't know where they found them. I don't know why I'm upside down. There we go.
Yeah, you're upside down there, bud.
But anyway, I mean, some of the folks that would come in, I mean, most of the time they were dressed pretty well. But I mean, they even started instructing me if they're in jeans and they're in like casual wear, just come and tell us and we'll send them home and have them come back. And my thing was always, and unfortunately I didn't have a say so in this, my thing was always, why would you want them to come back if they showed up the first time dressed like that?
Right.
You know, I mean, I understand that you're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel with some of your recruiting practices, but come on, man.
Yeah. You're right, man. I'm with that wholeheartedly, man.
All right, next up on our list tonight, gentlemen, try writing your own eulogy. Never stop revising. I think look,
that's a good one, man.
That is a good one because a lot of us don't realize what being mortal means. Like we only have so much time on this planet, and writing your eulogy. That's a great one, man. Go ahead, TK.
Yeah. It's all about your legacy, man. You know what I mean? And I think what they mean by that is, you know, never quit revising it. Is that you know, you never quit trying to better yourself as a person. You know, you know, the older you get, you should be learning from your mistakes. You should be you know, revising your life in that sense, man, to better yourself. And, you know, if you're writing your eulogy and keeping track of yourself, your life, your accomplishments, your legacy, then, you know, you should have to consistently revise it because you're consistently bettering yourself.
Mhm.
Okay. JC, got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's the things that you want to be able to say. You want people to have good things to say about you when you're gone. You know, not just when you leave and, you know, come back to work the next day, but when you're gone. So yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's what that statement speaks to. You know, it's one thing to always want to be liked, but it's another thing to always want to be respected. And if you can put those two things together, you are what they call remembered. You know, so let's make sure that that's for the right reasons, number one. And I think that's why I would say it's probably good practice to write your own eulogy, maybe with a little bit of extra detail, you know, things you know for sure about yourself. And even some things that maybe you haven't quite accomplished. Make sure you put that in there too, because there's something for you to aspire to. And that's why they say keep revising it.
Yep, absolutely, man.
Great point, gentlemen. Next up on our list, number 21, thank a veteran, then make it up to him. Go ahead, TK.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't think that I think that veterans, man, got the shitty end of the stick all the way fucking since Vietnam. You know, we do not treat veterans with the respect that they deserve or give them the credit due in this country. Now, I'm not saying that's everybody. You know, there are people out there who really, you know, hold veterans to, you know, the highest standard and treat them the same. And that's the way it should be, man. They fought for this country. You know, they are the real heroes, you know. So, you know, we should be doing everything that we can to make it up to them, you know, the sacrifices that they've had to give for our fucking freedom. And it's as simple as that.
JC?
Yeah, I'm actually one of my best friends, a veteran. He lives right down the hill from me right now. Strangely enough, he's also from Youngstown. He went to South Range. You know, but I mean, yeah, definitely. I think that that's kind of something that's lost on a lot of people. You know, we live in a part of the world that would be pretty hard to invade if you were another country, even Russia or China, because we're just isolated. We're separated from one by the Pacific and one by the Atlantic. We're in a pretty safe place, and as such, I think we've gotten a little bit overly ballsy with how, you know, we perceive this freedom that we have and how we got it. Not to mention how we maintain it. Now, whether or not I think we need to do the spending we do government-wise, look, that's not any of my business. But the people, the grunts who are being put on those front lines, the people who are driving those Humvees, the people who are, you know, learning how to shoot those M14s, things like that, those are the guys who are getting it done for us. And one day they're going to be asked to do it again, and hopefully it's not too soon.
Yeah. Not to mention the guys who are losing fucking limbs. You know what I mean? Seeing their fucking friends slaughtered, man, at war. You know, I mean.
Now, TK, I'm glad you brought that up because as a man, you are constantly asked to donate to this cause and that cause and this charity and that charity. The only charities I donate to are for our fucking veterans, dog. That's it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
All right, let's keep going, man. I don't want to speak on that too much. Number 22, eat lunch with the new kid. Now, I gotta tell you, I will fucking roast the new guy at work. He's the fucking new guy. I don't. You want me to eat lunch with him, or you know, I don't know. Maybe by roasting him, I am eating lunch with him and kind of showing him around a little bit. But I will fucking roast the new guy, dog. I don't know about y'all.
Well, I think that kind of refers to, you know, back when you're younger. I think it shows that if you sit down and eat lunch with the new kid when nobody else is willing to, it shows that you stand alone and that, you know, you don't follow suit with everybody else and all the fucking trends and the in crowds and shit like that. That, you know, you stand on your own fucking 2 feet. You call the shots with who you want to show respect to and who, you know, you want to sit with and converse with, or whatever the case may be, no matter what anybody else thinks of them. You know, when I was in school, man, don't get me wrong, man, everybody picked on other kids when they were in school, no matter who you were, but I did not advocate bullies, man, and I didn't fucking put up with, bullies picking on kids who are, you know, weaker or less than or smaller than or whatever the case may be, because I'm a little guy myself, man, and guys tried that with me a lot, you know. So everybody deserves a chance, man, to show who they are. And I think that sitting with the new kid, it shows that you stand alone. You don't follow suit with everybody else. You're not a fucking sheep, you know. Now at work, that's a different story. You know, you got a job to do there, man, and that's break the new motherfucker in. You know, so I'm with you on that.
Now, look, you got to remember the context of this are things that we should be teaching our sons and young men
Right.
as
Right.
they're, you know, going through school and adolescence and into manhood. So, yeah, eating with the new kid, that's a good one, man. All right, next up on our list tonight, 23. After writing an angry email, read it carefully and then delete it. Yo, dog, I don't really get angry like that. I mean, there has been a time or two where I've asked to speak to the supervisor. That's just because I know the supervisor has access and tools and programs that the dumb motherfucker I'm on the phone with don't have. The supervisor can bring some kind of resolution. So I have a little bit of mixed feelings about that. I don't really write angry emails. I don't really know how to vent. I deal with shit like a man. But again, we're speaking to young adolescents that are learning how to be men. So that is a lot better advice than sending some email that makes you look like a bitch ass motherfucker, crying in it, whining in it, complaining in it, bitching in it.
Yep.
So yeah, delete that shit. I mean, I would say don't even type it out, but if you're gonna do that shit, at least delete it. Yeah.
Right. I agree with you on that. Go ahead, JC.
I think typing it out is important, though, because I think if you're going to be the messenger of this, if you're the one that's going to be saying this, especially when you're a young man, I really want, because that is the perfect opportunity to actually think before you speak. Because when it comes to an email, you really haven't spoken until you click send. So This is your chance. This is your chance to speak, then read it and think, and then decide whether or not that was a good idea to send it. It's a slower motion way of think before they speak. Yeah, it's a slower motion way to teach young men to think before they speak by giving them a chance to read it and see what they sound like in their own head. And you know, I think that might and if the smart young man will let that translate over into his life when it comes to verbal communication, like we're doing here.
Okay, next on our list tonight, 24. No, man. I'm having a problem reading the last two. Hey.
There's another page.
Yeah, okay. Let me jump over to the next page. Just a second here, John.
Okay, I was going to say that. Okay, go ahead.
No, I got it. I got it.
Okay.
All right, right here. Okay. Next up on the list. Number 25, manners maketh the man. Y'all want to speak on manners? Go ahead, TK. Speak on manners and being a gentleman.
You know, listen, I was reading a story the other day, man, about how this little boy, he went into a bait shop in his town, and he never had any money, but he always was, you know, telling the owner of the bait shop how, you know, he was so desperate for a new fishing pole, you know, so he could spend some time with his father because his dad just didn't have the money to buy him a new pole. And the owner of that bait shop said, every time that gentleman comes in here, that kid comes in here, he is nothing but smiles. He's polite. Yes, sirs. No, sirs. Thank you. Please. So, you know, when he came in and said that his father was planning a fishing trip, but they only had the one pole, you know, because They didn't have much money. You know, they were just had the money to put the gas in the tank and get there and fish and get back. So that owner of that bait shop gave that little boy a fishing pole just because every time he came in there, he was polite and respectful. And that's where manners get you. Bad manners get you no fucking place, you know, unless you've tried to be respectful and that's just not working. Because like we said before, sometimes talking just don't work. But you know, it's always good to put good manners first and see where that gets you, you know, because it's usually going to get you first. Like they say, you know, you collect more flies with honey than you do vinegar.
JC?
You know, it's funny. I'm so used to saying, I'm so used to saying please and thank you that actually even when I have like Alexa do stuff, I say please. I don't think about it. I'm like, Alexa, please modify please. And I don't even like. I actually had to have other people say to me, "Did you just say please to your phone?" I'm like, yeah. But you know and the thing that I think a lot of people have to remember, especially when it comes to manners and the way they should be presented, especially when you're young, man, we're hotheads. Think about it this way. Don't think about it in terms of whether or not the person you're talking to deserves for you to be polite. Think of it in terms of how do you want to be perceived? Do you want to be perceived as that person who's being polite? How do you want to put yourself forward? What is the version of yourself you want people to see? Never mind whether or not they deserve to hear you say please and thank you. And by the way, there should be no high horse whereupon you shouldn't feel the need to say those things, at least at the very bare minimum.
Not only that, JC, but how do you want to be treated? How do you want to be talked to by someone? You know.
Well, and I even say to those guys, now that's a very good point, but I would also emphasize to them, now you're going to run across a lot of people that aren't going to match your politeness, and that is why you're not doing this for them. You're doing this for you. You're doing this to present yourself as that person, no matter how they do.
Thank you, JC. That is why you have to do it. You don't use your manners for them. You do that shit for you. Let me tell you something. I'm a big dude, okay? I can be intimidating. I have to say, please, thank you. I have to speak in soft tones so people don't think that I'm yelling. So it's essential that when I'm communicating myself with somebody else, I use the manners that my mother taught me so long ago. Please, thank you. Hello, my name is William. Simple shit that you guys just don't get. Walk up to a woman and say, what's up? Really?
Bill,
no, man, you gotta present yourself like a man.
On top of that, bro, what would we have gotten from our fathers when we were young if we didn't show manners or we didn't say please and thank you to our elders? You know what the fuck you would have got. You know what I would have got.
Facts. Hey, all right, let's keep going here. Next up on the list. 26, give credit and take blame. Bro, as a man, something fucks up. It is your responsibility to take ownership, my dude. That shit is on you. It is nobody else's fault. That's why when you're a man, you have a fucking plan for everything. You even have a backup plan. You got a backup plan to back up the backup plan, because everything can go left. And you know that you are going to be all right.
And not only that, man, there's nothing worse than a grown man who cannot admit when he's wrong or give credit due to someone when credit is due. That says a lot about a person right there, man, when you can't admit that you fucked something up. That's what separates the men from the boys. When you're able to say, that was me, that was my fault.
Yeah, I would say watch any guy play video games. I know men in their 40s who have never legit lost a video game in their life as far as they're concerned. It was always because that controller stopped working right at the very worst moment. It was that they.
Hey, we got some kind of echo. Hold on, it might be me.
I think it's you. Yeah.
There you go.
We good?
Nope. I got to jump back out and come back.
I wasn't hearing it, man. There you go.
All set. Ooh.
Nope.
You're not echoing. You're not echoing. You guys aren't echoing my phone. You sound fine. It must be his phone or his thing.
You getting any feedback, JC? I don't know what happened, dog.
All right, is that better? Ooh.
All right, number 28 says, write down your dream.
Oh shit, we're losing him.
No, I'm trying to come out and come back in to get rid of the echo. Go ahead and read it. Look, the next one says, stand up to bullies, protect those bullies. Go ahead and speak on that. I'm going to fix this.
Okay. So,
all right, so you hear me?
You know, that goes back to what we were saying about sitting with the new kid. You know, if you command any kind of presence, you don't let someone weaker than you, you don't stand for someone weaker than you getting pushed around. You know, because a real man is a protector of everyone, unless they just don't deserve protection, in my book. But yeah, I agree with that 100%. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I think that standing up to the bully is not only important for the person standing up to the bully, but it's important to understand that there is a bully in your presence. Even if he's not coming after you, if he gets tired of picking on this kid, you might be next. Or this other person might be next. Somebody might be next. We put a stop to it for everyone for good. We pop them now.
Yeah, or it could be your little brother or sister getting picked on next. You know, then how would you feel about that shit? Because you didn't put that asshole in his place. You know what I mean? So,
I'm still getting an echo back. Fuck. Hold
man,
on.
It sounds fine on my side, man. Are you echoing, JC?
Yeah, mine know.
I just killed the phone line, dog.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
Is that the first time that happened?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, it sounds, both of you guys sound fine on my end.
Yeah, I'm hearing the echo on mine.
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right, I don't know what's causing the echo, man. We might have to end the stream tonight. A professor here has never cursed the words of empowerment. Y'all want to speak on that?
What is it now?
No, I can't hear you.
A professor that what?
The echoes like you.
What'd you say, Bill? A professor that what?
No, that was his username. I posted.
Oh, okay.
Look, I don't know what. I don't know why I have the echo.
Yeah, you're cutting out. We can't hear you, man. You cut out on us.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting an echo. That's all right. Hey, I'm in the stream, man.
Okay, we're at an hour, man. We can cut it off.